you ever been alone in your home, only to feel an overwhelming sense of peace and calm, like a warm blanket wrapping around you, even in the middle of a stressful day? Or maybe you've noticed small, glowing lights out of the corner of your eye with no logical explanation. What if these aren't just random occurrences? What if I told you that these moments might be signs, powerful signs, that an angel is by your side? Angels have been guiding us for centuries, often appearing when we least expect them. These divine beings have been mentioned countless times in the Bible, offering comfort, protection, and guidance to those in need. And the good news? They are still with us today. In this video, we'll explore 10 unforgettable signs that angels might be present in your home, watching over you and guiding your path. These aren't just mysterious, distant phenomena. They're signs that you may already be experiencing in your day-to-day life. From an intense wave of peace to the appearance of white feathers, these clues are subtle but powerful reminders that you are not alone. Stay with us until the end because you won't want to miss a single sign. Some of these might surprise you. Sign 1. Intense feeling of peace. Let's start with one of the most profound signs that angels are in your presence, an intense feeling of peace. Imagine this. You're going through a tough time. Maybe you're overwhelmed by stress, or perhaps you've been wrestling with anxiety or fear. Then out of nowhere, you feel this overwhelming calm, a serenity that washes over you, making all your worries seem distant. Suddenly, everything feels right. In the Bible, angels often bring this exact sensation of peace when they appear. Consider the story of Abraham, for example. One ordinary day, he was sitting in his tent when he was visited by 3 men, angels in disguise. At first, he didn't recognize them as divine beings, but as they spoke, a sense of peace and certainty settled over him. Their message? A promise that his family's future would change forever with the birth of a son, Isaac. Genesis 18:1-15. Or take the story of Daniel, who was exiled in Babylon. During one of his most distressing moments, an angel appeared to him, not with thunder or lightning, but with a comforting presence. This angel reassured him that despite the chaos surrounding him, everything was unfolding according to a divine plan. Daniel 10:10-19:19. That feeling Daniel experienced, a deep, unshakable peace, is one of the most powerful signs of an angel's presence. This feeling of peace isn't always accompanied by grand gestures. It can come during your quiet moments, while praying, meditating, or simply sitting alone with your thoughts. When everything around you feels uncertain, but deep inside, you feel at peace, that could be a gentle nudge from your guardian angel, reminding you that they are watching over you, guiding you through your struggles. And this isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a peace that sticks with you, long after the moment has passed. Many people report that even in the most challenging situations, they feel an inexplicable sense of calm and safety, as if a higher force is protecting them from harm. In fact, this is so common that in the Bible, angels often start their messages with the phrase, "Do not be afraid." Luke 1:13, Matthew 28:5. Their presence brings a supernatural tranquility that can't be explained by logic alone. Next time you find yourself in a situation that should make you anxious, but instead you feel serene, remember, this might be your angel by your side, bringing you the peace of heaven. Sign 2. Unusual lights or brightness. Have you ever noticed a strange flash of light in your home, perhaps out of the corner of your eye, or maybe even a soft, glowing brightness that seems to have no source? This could be more than just a trick of the eye. Many people believe that unusual lights are a strong sign that angels are nearby, bringing their heavenly presence into your home. The Bible frequently associates angels with light. In fact, light is often used as a symbol of divine and heavenly presence. One of the most well-known examples is when the angel Gabriel visited Mary to deliver the message of Jesus' birth. Gabriel didn't just appear in the shadows, he was surrounded by divine light, a glowing representation of the spiritual power he carried. Luke 1:26-38. Imagine standing in a dim room and suddenly a soft glow appears out of nowhere, like a gentle illumination from another realm. Many people describe this sensation, an unexplainable glow, flashes of light, or a shimmer in the air that seems to dance around them. It's as if the veil between our world and the spiritual world is temporarily lifted, And in that brief moment, an angelic presence makes itself known. In modern times, people have reported seeing mysterious lights during moments of deep prayer or meditation. These lights often appear as small bright spots or quick flashes, but some describe an entire room being filled with an otherworldly glow, enveloping them in a sense of peace and warmth. It's as if the angels are shining their light from heaven to earth, reminding us that they are here, watching over us. One such modern account comes from a woman who was in the middle of a crisis. She was unsure of what to do, feeling lost, when suddenly a small but intensely bright flash appeared in her room. The light had no visible source and lasted only for a moment. But in that split second, she felt an immense wave of calm and certainty, as though the path forward was suddenly illuminated for her. She believed this light was a sign of an angel guiding her through the dark times, offering both clarity and peace. This phenomenon is not just visual. Many people claim that along with the light, they feel a warm, comforting presence, like being wrapped in a divine embrace. This sensation is often described during times of need, when we are looking for answers, guidance, or simply a sign that we're not alone. The Bible gives us more examples of how angels bring light to those in need. When Peter was imprisoned, bound in chains, it seemed like all hope was lost. But then, an angel of the Lord appeared. The angel didn't just walk in quietly. The prison cell was illuminated by a bright light. This wasn't just any light. It was a symbol of divine intervention, showing that even in the darkest times, God's messengers bring hope and deliverance. The light guided Peter to freedom, as the chains fell from his wrists. Similarly, in the Old Testament, when Moses descended from Mount Sinai after speaking with God, his face was so radiant with divine light that the Israelites couldn't even look directly at him. The glow from his face was a testament to his encounter with the divine, a clear sign that he had been in the presence of something greater than himself. Exodus 34:29-35. So the next time you notice an unusual light, a sudden flash, a mysterious glow, or a soft brightness that seems to fill the room, pause and reflect. Could this be a sign that an angel is near, reminding you of their presence and offering their guidance? These signs are subtle yet powerful. They are reminders that even in our most ordinary moments, angels may be close by, shining their light into our lives when we need it most. Sign 3. White feathers in unusual places. Have you ever found a single white feather lying on the floor or even in the most unexpected of places, with no clear explanation of how it got there? Many people believe that white feathers are one of the most powerful signs of angelic presence. But why feathers? The Bible is filled with references to angels and their wings. Angels are often described as heavenly beings who carry messages from God, and their wings are symbolic of their divine nature. In Psalm 91:11-12, it is written, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." This passage speaks to the protection that angels offer, lifting us up when we are in danger, much like wings that carry us to safety. Imagine walking through your home or out in nature, deep in thought, perhaps even in distress. Suddenly, your eyes are drawn to a pure white feather on the ground. There are no birds nearby, and there's no logical reason why this feather should be there. Yet, in that moment, it feels like more than just a coincidence. Many believe that finding a white feather in an unusual place is a direct message from an angel. It's a gentle reminder that you are being watched over, protected, and guided, even when you feel alone. The purity of the white feather is significant. In the Bible, the color white is often associated with holiness, purity, and divine presence. In Revelation 7:9, the great multitude of the redeemed is described as wearing white robes, symbolizing their purity and salvation. This connection between white and the divine suggests that the appearance of a white feather could be a reminder of the angelic purity and protection that surrounds us. But these feathers often appear when we need them most, during times of stress, confusion, or loss. Take, for instance, the story of a woman who had recently lost a loved one. She was sitting on her porch, overwhelmed with grief, when a single white feather floated down and landed on her lap. There were no birds nearby, and the feather seemed to come out of nowhere. She later described the moment as one of deep comfort, believing that the feather was a sign from an angel, reassuring her that her loved one was safe and that she wasn't alone in her sorrow. White feathers can also appear in our homes, sometimes in the most unexpected places. A feather found on a living room couch or on a desk may serve as a small but powerful reminder that angels are nearby, gently guiding us, even when we don't see them. What makes these encounters with white feathers even more remarkable is how they often appear at just the right moment. Many people report finding feathers after praying for guidance or comfort, almost as if the feather is a direct answer to their prayers. It's as though the angels are leaving behind a tangible reminder that they've heard our cries and are walking alongside us in our spiritual journey. There's a story of a man who had been struggling with a major life decision. He prayed deeply for guidance, asking God to send him a sign that he was on the right path. The next morning, as he left his house, he found a small white feather sitting on his car windshield. To him, that feather was more than just a coincidence. It was a message from an angel, offering him the reassurance he had prayed for. So the next time you find a white feather in an unusual place, pause for a moment and reflect. Could this be an angel reminding you that you are never alone? That even in the darkest of times, you are being watched over and protected? Feathers are small, delicate, and easily overlooked. But when you find one in a place where it doesn't belong, it could be a powerful sign that an angel is leaving behind a message just for you. Sign 4. Temperature changes, 11 to 14. Have you ever been sitting in a room and suddenly the temperature drops or rises without explanation? Perhaps a sudden cold breeze brushes across your face, or a warm, comforting heat wraps around you, even though nothing in the room has physically changed. This could be more than just a fluctuation in the weather. It could be a sign that an angel is nearby. Throughout history, angels have been associated with natural elements. In the Bible, God often manifests through these elements to make his presence known, and angels, as his messengers, can do the same. One of the most notable examples of this is found in 1 Kings 19:11 to 13, where the prophet Elijah encounters God's presence. The passage describes how Elijah feels the strong wind, an earthquake, and fire, but God's presence wasn't in these powerful forces. Instead, it was in a gentle breeze, often referred to as a still small voice. That gentle breeze carried with it a divine message, and many believe that this kind of temperature change can be a subtle sign of angelic presence. Imagine sitting in your living room, and suddenly you feel a cold breeze drift across the room. The windows are shut, the heating or cooling system is off, and yet you feel the air shift, as if something or someone is moving through the space. This isn't an uncommon experience for those who believe in the presence of angels. In moments like these, that cold air could be a sign that an angel is nearby, watching over you, guiding you, or protecting you. But it's not just cold air that indicates an angel's presence. Sometimes people report feeling an unexpected warmth, almost like a soft blanket wrapping around them. This warmth can come in moments of prayer, meditation, or reflection, providing comfort and reassurance in times of stress or emotional pain. Take, for instance, the story of a man who was going through an incredibly difficult time. He had been struggling with grief after losing a loved one and prayed fervently for peace. One evening, as he sat alone in his home, he felt a sudden warmth surround him. It was as if someone had placed a warm hand on his shoulder. There was no visible source for this heat, but in that moment he felt an overwhelming sense of calm. He believed that this warmth was a sign of angelic presence, a gentle reminder that he was not alone in his grief. In the Bible, these temperature changes are often associated with divine intervention. In Daniel 3:19-27, we read about the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who were thrown into a blazing furnace for refusing to worship the king's golden statue. As the flames raged, a fourth figure, believed to be an angel, appeared with them in the fire, and despite the intensity of the heat, they were unharmed. This story highlights how the divine can manipulate natural elements, even temperature, to show protection and presence. Modern stories are just as compelling. Many people describe feeling a sudden coldness during moments of prayer or spiritual reflection, especially when they ask for protection or guidance. This cold sensation, like a cool breeze indoors where there shouldn't be one, is often interpreted as a sign of an angelic visit. Others report feeling intense warmth in situations that would otherwise provoke fear or anxiety. For instance, there are accounts of individuals who felt overwhelming warmth while driving through dangerous conditions or during times of physical illness. These moments of unexpected warmth brought comfort, and many interpret them as signs that angels were with them, protecting them from harm. So the next time you feel a sudden change in temperature, whether it's a chill that creeps up your spine or a warmth that fills your heart, pause and reflect. Could this be a subtle sign that an angel is by your side? A reminder that even when things seem uncertain, you are being watched over, guided, and protected by divine forces beyond your sight. These temperature shifts are often more than just physical phenomena. They carry deep spiritual significance, offering comfort, guidance, and a gentle reminder that we are never truly alone. Sign 5. Sweet and floral fragrances. 14. Have you ever been in a room and suddenly caught the scent of a beautiful fragrance? Perhaps a sweet floral aroma, like roses or lilies, but there's no source in sight? This could be more than just an unexplained scent. It could be a sign that an angel is near. In the Bible, fragrances play a significant role, especially in relation to angelic and divine encounters. Incense offerings were a powerful symbol of prayers rising to heaven, often representing the presence of angels. In Revelation 8:3-4, it is written, "And the smoke of the incense, together with the prayers of God's people, went up before God from the angel's hand." This connection between sweet-smelling fragrances and angels is deeply symbolic. Just as incense drifts toward heaven, so too do the messages and presence of angels descend into our lives. But how does this manifest today? Many people report smelling sweet or floral scents at unexpected times, particularly during moments of deep prayer, meditation, or emotional need. The fragrances are often described as being incredibly pure and pleasant, filling the room with a sense of peace and tranquility. These scents can appear even when there are no flowers, candles, or perfumes nearby, leading many to believe that they are a sign of an angelic presence. Consider the story of a woman who had been going through a particularly challenging time. She had been praying for comfort and guidance when, out of nowhere, the scent of roses filled her room. There were no flowers in the house and no source for the fragrance, but in that moment, she felt a deep sense of peace and reassurance. She believed that the scent was a sign from an angel, a message reminding her that she was not alone. This isn't an isolated experience. Many people who report angelic encounters describe similar moments where unexplained fragrances fill the air. The scent often comes during moments of prayer or reflection, almost as if the angels are sending a message of comfort and love through the sweet-smelling air. In addition to floral fragrances, other sacred aromas like sandalwood, myrrh, or frankincense are also associated with angelic presence. These scents, used in ancient times for religious rituals and offerings, carry with them a sense of the divine. Myrrh, in particular, is significant in the Bible, being one of the gifts brought by the Magi to the baby Jesus, Matthew 2:11. This sacred fragrance has been associated with spiritual protection and the presence of divine beings for centuries. Imagine sitting quietly, perhaps after a difficult day, and suddenly smelling the scent of sweet roses or the comforting aroma of sandalwood. These fragrances are more than just pleasant smells, they carry deep spiritual meaning. They can serve as a reminder that the angels are close by, offering comfort and protection, even when we can't see them. There are countless stories of people experiencing these mysterious scents in times of need. One man described sitting at his desk, feeling overwhelmed with worry about his future. As he closed his eyes and said a prayer, he smelled a strong, sweet fragrance of jasmine, a scent that reminded him of his late mother's garden. In that moment, the man felt an incredible sense of peace, believing that the fragrance was a sign from an angel, assuring him that everything would be okay. Sometimes, these scents are linked to loved ones who have passed away. Many believe that when we smell a familiar fragrance, such as a loved one's favorite flower or perfume, it's a message from the angels that our departed loved ones are safe and still watching over us. In the Bible, 2 Corinthians 2:14-15 speaks of fragrance as a symbol of divine presence. But thanks be to God, who always leads us as captives in Christ's triumphal procession and uses us to spread the aroma of the knowledge of Him everywhere. For we are to God the pleasing aroma of Christ among those who are being saved and those who are perishing. This verse reminds us that scent can carry spiritual significance, symbolizing the connection between heaven and earth. So, the next time you catch a whiff of a beautiful floral scent or a sacred aroma with no obvious source, take a moment to reflect. Could it be an angel, leaving behind a gentle reminder that they are near, offering peace and comfort in your time of need? These sweet and floral fragrances are more than just pleasant smells. They are divine messages that remind us of the constant presence of angels in our lives. Sign 6. Synchronicities and meaningful coincidences. 17. Have you ever experienced a moment where something happened that seemed too perfectly timed to be just a coincidence? Maybe you've been thinking about a specific issue, and suddenly the answer appears in front of you, whether through a conversation, a book, or even a series of numbers. These moments, known as synchronicities or meaningful coincidences, can be powerful signs of angelic presence. In the Bible, God often uses seemingly coincidental events to guide His people and reveal His will. One such example is in the book of Esther, where King Ahasuerus has a sleepless night and decides to read the book of the Chronicles. There, he finds the record of how Mordecai had once saved his life by uncovering a plot to assassinate him. This coincidence leads the king to honor Mordecai, which ultimately shifts the course of events and saves the Jewish people from destruction. Esther 6:1-3. These synchronicities in the Bible aren't mere chance. They are divinely orchestrated moments meant to provide guidance, protection, and clarity. And just as God used these moments in biblical times, many people today believe that angels use synchronicities to communicate with us, offering signs that we are on the right path or need to pay attention to something important. Perhaps you've seen repeating numbers, such as 111 or 444, and wondered if they carried a deeper meaning. Many people believe that these are angel numbers, specific sequences used by angels to send us messages. For example, the number 444 is often associated with protection and reassurance, a reminder that angels are close by, watching over you. If you frequently see the same numbers at pivotal moments in your life, it could be a sign that angels are trying to get your attention, offering guidance through these subtle yet powerful synchronicities. Take, for instance, the story of a man who had been praying for guidance about a significant life decision. He was feeling uncertain about which direction to take and had asked for a clear sign. That same day, as he was driving, he noticed a billboard with a message that seemed directly related to his dilemma. Later, when he turned on his radio, the same topic came up again in a conversation between the hosts. These seemingly unrelated events, happening in quick succession, felt too coincidental to ignore. He believed that these synchronicities were a message from his guardian angels, nudging him in the right direction. But synchronicities aren't always grand or obvious. Sometimes they come in the form of small, meaningful moments that line up perfectly with what we're experiencing or thinking about. Perhaps you've been reflecting on a difficult situation and then meet someone who shares a similar story, offering advice or insight that resonates deeply with you. Or maybe you've been praying for help, and just when you need it most, an opportunity presents itself that seems too well-timed to be a mere accident. In modern spiritual practice, many people interpret these moments as direct communication from angels, guiding them toward their purpose or helping them through challenges. Angels work in subtle ways, often through the events and people around us. These synchronicities are their way of showing us that there's a divine hand at play, weaving together the fabric of our lives in ways we may not always see at first glance. Biblically, numbers hold significant meaning, and angels often use them as a way to communicate. For example, the number 3 is associated with the Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, and represents divine perfection. The number 7 is often regarded as the number of completion or spiritual perfection, seen in the 7 days of creation. If you notice certain numbers repeating in your life, it's worth paying attention. These patterns could be an angelic message, reminding you of spiritual truths, or guiding you toward an important realization. There are countless stories of people experiencing these meaningful coincidences during times of deep need or uncertainty. One woman recalled how she had been praying for guidance about her career. The next day, she received a message from an old friend, offering her advice that directly addressed her concerns. Later that week, she saw the same message reflected in a book she happened to pick up. To her, these synchronicities were clear signs that the angels were guiding her toward a decision she had been struggling with. So the next time you notice a synchronicity, a perfectly timed event, repeating numbers, or an unlikely coincidence, pause and reflect. Could it be a sign from your guardian angel, offering you guidance and reassurance? These moments, no matter how small, may be more than just chance. They could be divine messages crafted just for you. When you open your eyes and heart to these synchronicities, you may find that the angels have been guiding you all along, orchestrating events in your life in ways that are more than just coincidence. Sign 7. Heavenly sounds and music. Have you ever heard soft, gentle music or subtle sounds that seem to come from nowhere? Maybe you've been alone in a quiet room, and out of the silence, you hear distant bells ringing, a soft melody, or a whispering voice. These unexplainable sounds are often believed to be one of the signs that angels are near, bringing with them a message or a comforting presence. In the Bible, angels often appear with sound, either through their voices or through divine music. When Zechariah was in the temple, he heard the voice of the angel Gabriel, delivering a message that would change his life. Luke 1:11-20. This is just one example of how angels have been known to communicate through sound, whether it be through a voice, a song, or an unearthly noise that stirs the soul. These heavenly sounds can manifest in different ways. Some people report hearing a choir of voices singing in perfect harmony, while others hear soft bells or chimes. The sounds can come unexpectedly, in the stillness of a quiet room, during prayer, or even in the middle of the night. They don't always have a clear source. There are no instruments or radios playing, but the sounds are vivid and distinct. Many who experience this believe it's the angels communicating with them, offering comfort and a reminder of their divine presence. One of the most common reports is the sound of angelic music. This music is described as being otherworldly, soft, harmonious, and filled with peace. Imagine sitting in your home, perhaps in deep thought or prayer, and hearing a faint melody that seems to fill the room. It's not coming from any device or instrument, yet it's as clear as any song you've ever heard. Many who have experienced this describe feeling an overwhelming sense of peace and connection, as though the angels are singing to them, offering comfort in a way that words alone could never do. This phenomenon is not limited to modern times. In Revelation 5:11-12, John recounts his vision of angels singing and praising God in the heavens. He writes, "Then I looked and heard the voice of many angels numbering thousands upon thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000. They encircled the throne and the living creatures and the elders. In a loud voice they were saying, 'Worthy is the Lamb who was slain, to receive power and wealth and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and praise.'" This heavenly choir is a powerful example of how angels use music to communicate divine messages and offer praise. But it's not just music that people report hearing. Many also describe soft, comforting sounds like bells or chimes. These sounds often occur during moments of deep spiritual reflection or in times of emotional need. For example, one woman recalled how, during a particularly difficult time in her life, she would hear soft bells ringing late at night. The sound would calm her, helping her to fall asleep despite the anxiety she felt. She later came to believe that these bells were a sign from her guardian angel, offering her peace during a time of distress. Others have reported hearing whispers or voices, not in a frightening way, but in a way that feels comforting and reassuring. These whispers often come during moments of prayer or when seeking answers to difficult questions. It's as if the angels are gently speaking into our hearts, offering guidance and love through these soft, ethereal sounds. Some even believe that these sounds are not just communication, but also a form of protection. For instance, there are accounts of people hearing loud, sharp noises or sudden clangs that wake them up from sleep just before something bad happens, like a car accident or a house fire. In these cases, the sound serves as a warning, a way for the angels to intervene and protect them from harm. Take the story of a man who was driving late at night on a quiet road. He suddenly heard a loud, jarring noise in his car, startling him. He quickly pulled over, only to realize that a major accident had just occurred further up the road. Had he continued driving, he may have been involved. To him, that noise was no coincidence. It was an angelic intervention, protecting him from danger. These heavenly sounds, whether music, bells, whispers, or sudden noises, are often subtle, but their impact is profound. They are reminders that the spiritual realm is closer than we think, and that angels are always nearby, watching over us and offering comfort, guidance, and protection. So the next time you hear an unexplained sound, a soft melody, the ringing of bells, or even a gentle whisper, pause and reflect. Could it be an angel, offering you a message of peace or a reminder that you are never truly alone? These sounds are more than just auditory phenomena. They are spiritual gifts, reminding us of the presence of angels in our lives. Sign 8. Sensation of gentle touches. Have you ever felt a soft touch on your shoulder, or the sensation of someone gently holding your hand, even though no one else was around? These subtle yet profound touches are often believed to be signs that an angel is present, offering comfort, protection, or guidance. In the Bible, angels often interact with humans in a very physical way, especially when providing comfort or reassurance. One powerful example is when Peter was imprisoned and an angel came to his rescue. Acts 12 verse 7 describes how the angel touched Peter to wake him, guiding him out of his chains and leading him to freedom. This gentle touch changed the course of Peter's life, and to this day, many believe that angels continue to offer physical reassurance through these soft, gentle sensations. These touches can happen in a variety of ways. Some people describe feeling a light pressure on their shoulder during times of prayer or deep contemplation. Others have reported a comforting hand on their back, or even a gentle pat on the head when they needed encouragement the most. These experiences often occur when someone is feeling particularly vulnerable, stressed, or unsure of what to do next. In these moments, it feels as though an invisible force is offering strength and support, reminding them that they are not alone. One woman shared a particularly moving story. She had been grieving the recent loss of a loved one and felt completely overwhelmed by sadness. As she sat in her bedroom, silently crying and praying for peace, she felt what she described as the sensation of someone placing their hand on her shoulder. The touch was so real that she turned around, expecting to see someone standing there, but no one was. In that moment, she knew that it wasn't just her imagination. She believed it was her guardian angel, offering comfort during her darkest hour. This idea of a gentle touch as a sign of angelic presence is not new. In Daniel 10:10, the prophet Daniel describes a moment when an angel touched him, lifting him from the ground and giving him the strength to stand and receive a divine message. The touch wasn't just physical, it was empowering, providing Daniel with the spiritual strength he needed to continue his journey. These angelic touches are not always about comfort, though. Sometimes they are about protection and warning. There are many stories of people feeling a sudden tug on their arm or a push just before they realize they are in danger. For instance, one man recalled walking down the street late at night when he felt a strong, invisible force pull him back, just as a car came speeding around the corner. He had no explanation for the sensation, but believed that his guardian angel had intervened to save his life. These touches can also occur during moments of intense prayer or meditation. Many people report feeling a sense of warmth, like being wrapped in a soft embrace, while they are deep in prayer. This warmth is often accompanied by a sense of peace and reassurance, as if the angels are surrounding them, offering protection and love. Another powerful story involves a man who had been struggling with his faith. He was going through a particularly difficult time in his life. and had been praying for some kind of sign that everything would be okay. One evening, as he knelt in prayer, he felt a gentle touch on the top of his head, as if someone had placed their hand there in blessing. The feeling was so strong that he opened his eyes and looked around, expecting to see someone standing next to him. There was no one, but in that moment he felt a deep sense of peace, believing that his guardian angel had answered his prayer. These experiences remind us that angels are not just distant, ethereal beings. They are active, engaged, and present in our lives, offering physical signs of their presence when we need them most. These gentle touches are more than just a comforting sensation. They are divine reminders that we are always watched over and cared for by a higher power. So the next time you feel a soft touch on your shoulder, the warmth of a hand holding yours, or even the sensation of someone embracing you when you're alone, take a moment to reflect. Could this be an angel offering you comfort, protection, or guidance? These gentle touches are small but powerful signs, reminding us that we are never truly alone. The angels are always nearby, offering their love and support through both the seen and unseen. Sign 9. Vivid dreams and visions. Have you ever had a dream so vivid, so clear, that it felt more like a message than just your imagination? Or perhaps you've experienced a vision, a sudden, powerful image or thought that provided clarity in a moment of uncertainty. Many people believe that vivid dreams and visions are one of the most significant ways angels communicate with us, offering guidance, warnings, or reassurance when we need it most. In the Bible, dreams and visions have long been used as a way for divine beings to send messages to humans. Angels in particular often use this method to deliver important guidance. Take the story of Joseph, for example. In Matthew 2 verse 13, an angel appears to Joseph in a dream, warning him to flee to Egypt to protect Mary and the baby Jesus from danger. This divine intervention came in the form of a dream, providing Joseph with the direction he needed to keep his family safe. These kinds of dreams are not confined to biblical times. Today, many people report experiencing incredibly vivid dreams where they believe they are receiving messages from angels. These dreams often come during times of distress, when guidance or comfort is most needed. The dreams are strikingly clear, filled with symbols or images that seem to carry deep spiritual meaning. One woman shared her experience of dreaming about an angel standing at her bedside, reassuring her during a difficult period in her life. The angel didn't speak, but the presence alone filled her with a sense of peace and clarity. When she woke up, the fear and anxiety she had been feeling were gone, replaced by a deep sense of calm. She believed that the angel had visited her in her dream, offering the comfort she desperately needed. These dreams and visions can come at pivotal moments, offering not only comfort but also direction. Consider the story of a man who had been struggling with a major life decision. He prayed for guidance, asking for a sign to help him choose the right path. That night, he had a vivid dream in which he saw himself walking down a road with an angel by his side. The road branched off in two directions, and the angel pointed him toward the right path. When he woke, he felt confident that his prayer had been answered, and the clarity he gained from the dream helped him move forward with his decision. In Genesis 28:10-17, we read about Jacob's dream, in which he saw a ladder reaching up to heaven, with angels ascending and descending upon it. This dream was a powerful vision, revealing to Jacob that God was with him and that he was being watched over by divine beings. This vision gave Jacob the reassurance and strength he needed to continue his journey, knowing that he was not alone. Dreams and visions aren't just about offering comfort. They can also serve as warnings. There are many stories of people receiving warnings in their dreams that help them avoid danger or make life-saving decisions. One man recounted a vivid dream where he saw a fire breaking out in his home. He woke up in a panic, only to find that an electrical outlet was sparking in the very room where the fire had appeared in his dream. He believed the dream was a warning from his guardian angel, guiding him to take action before it was too late. For others, these dreams are filled with symbolic imagery, like seeing a specific number, animal, or object repeatedly. These symbols can carry deep spiritual significance, offering insight into the decisions or challenges the dreamer is facing. It's common for people to wake up from these dreams with a sense of urgency or clarity, knowing that the message they received is one they must act upon. Visions, like dreams, can also be powerful ways angels communicate with us. Visions often happen during moments of deep meditation, prayer, or reflection. They may come as brief flashes of imagery or as more extended sequences that play out like a scene from a movie. These visions provide insight, clarity, and sometimes even warnings. One woman described how, during a moment of prayer, she had a vision of herself standing in a peaceful garden. In the vision, an angel appeared, holding a small light. The angel handed her the light, and as soon as she accepted it, her worries seemed to disappear. This vision was brief, but it left her with a sense of peace and understanding that she hadn't felt before. She believed that this vision was a message from her guardian angel, reminding her that she was being watched over and cared for. Whether through dreams or visions, angels continue to communicate with us, offering comfort, guidance, and even warnings when we need them most. These experiences are often deeply personal, leaving the dreamer or visionary with a sense of peace and clarity that is hard to explain but impossible to ignore. So the next time you have a vivid dream or a powerful vision, take a moment to reflect on its meaning. Could this be an angelic message, offering you the guidance or reassurance you've been seeking? These dreams and visions are more than just figments of our imagination. They are divine messages, sent to help us navigate the challenges of life with the knowledge that we are never truly alone. Sign 10. Synchronicity with nature. Have you ever noticed that certain animals or natural elements seem to appear at just the right moment, as though they are delivering a message? Maybe a bird lands in front of you while you're deep in thought, or a butterfly crosses your path after a difficult day. Many people believe that angels use nature to communicate with us, offering signs through the synchronicity of animals, weather patterns, or other natural elements. In the Bible, God frequently uses nature to send messages. For instance, the story of Noah and the dove in Genesis 8:11 shows how a simple bird became a symbol of hope and renewal. After the floodwaters receded, the dove returned to Noah with an olive branch in its beak, signaling the end of the flood and the beginning of a new chapter for humanity. This small yet powerful symbol from nature was a message from God, offering reassurance and guidance during a time of uncertainty. Similarly, many people today believe that angels communicate through nature, sending signs and symbols at moments when we need them most. Birds, in particular, are often seen as messengers of the divine. It's not uncommon to hear stories of people who have experienced the sudden appearance of a bird, just as they were praying for a sign or dealing with a personal crisis. These encounters are often interpreted as angelic messages, offering comfort or direction. Consider the story of a man who had been struggling with grief after losing a close friend. One day, while sitting in his garden, he noticed a beautiful cardinal land on the fence in front of him. The bird didn't fly away, but instead stayed for several minutes, staring at him as if trying to communicate. In that moment, the man felt a deep sense of peace, and he believed that the cardinal was a sign from his guardian angel, reminding him that his loved one was still watching over him. Nature's synchronicities go beyond animals. Weather patterns, such as a sudden change in the wind or an unexpected rainbow after a storm, can also be interpreted as angelic signs. In 1 Kings 19:11-12, the prophet Elijah experiences God's presence through natural elements. First, there's a powerful wind, followed by an earthquake, and then a fire. But God's presence isn't in these dramatic events. It is in a gentle whisper that follows. This story reminds us that the divine often communicates through subtle, natural signs, rather than grand, overwhelming displays. Another common symbol is the butterfly. Often, butterflies are seen as symbols of transformation, hope, and spiritual growth. Many people report seeing butterflies during times of personal change or after the passing of a loved one, believing that these beautiful creatures are carrying messages from angels or departed souls. The delicate nature of the butterfly, coupled with its ability to transform, makes it a perfect symbol of the divine presence in our lives. Flowers, too, can carry spiritual significance. Some people report smelling flowers in unexpected places, as we discussed earlier, but others notice specific flowers blooming during moments of deep emotional or spiritual need. A flower that seems to appear suddenly, especially in an unusual place, may be a sign that angels are offering comfort or reassurance. Even the wind can carry angelic messages. Many describe feeling a sudden, gentle breeze during moments of reflection or prayer, as though the angels are gently guiding them, wrapping them in comfort. This breeze, like the one experienced by Elijah, can be a reminder that divine forces are at work, even when we can't see them directly. One woman recalled a moment when she was deeply troubled and praying for guidance. As she sat under a tree, feeling overwhelmed by her circumstances, the wind picked up suddenly, swirling around her. In that moment, she felt a deep sense of peace, as though the wind itself was whispering reassurance. She later described the experience as a message from her guardian angel, delivered through the natural world. These synchronicities with nature are gentle but powerful reminders that the spiritual and natural worlds are deeply connected. Angels, as divine messengers, often use the elements of nature to communicate with us in ways that resonate on a spiritual level. Whether it's a bird, a flower, a butterfly, or even the wind, these natural signs are meant to draw our attention to the presence of angels in our lives. So the next time you notice an animal behaving in an unusual way, or you experience an unexpected shift in the weather, take a moment to reflect. Could this be an angel using nature to deliver a message or offer guidance? These moments, though subtle, carry deep spiritual significance and are a reminder that angels are always nearby, watching over us and guiding us through both the visible and invisible aspects of our world.